Hello to all the amazing people that near here, and welcome to Binge Watcher's Paradise. On this channel, I just love to make big, competent playlists of games I really enjoy. I prefer tactical games, roguelites, and story-based games. However, as a true gamer in heart, I also deviate a lot if I stumble onto something interesting. There's a lot of variety here for those who care to look for it. Let me help you out to find it. For all my newer gameplays, I strive to have all my videos and with a link to our next video in the series. And I would like to have each video description and a pinned comment to contain a playlist link to the start of the run that the video is part of. I really do care and I want to help you navigate from one video to another. If you have any suggestions or there is a link or a playlist missing, let me know and I'll fix it ASAP. But there is more. This is starting to sound like an infomercial, but it is for a good cause, so bear with me. In this video, I will feature 8 varied games I enjoyed recently and 4 games I enjoyed a while back, and give a short description why I think I like them so much, as well as provide a link in the comment to the full playlist so you can click on it and binge the hell out of it. So make sure to stick around and check these out. Card Survival Tropical Island. It is a survival game where you interact with the environment by drag and dropping cards. Simple idea, executed in an amazing way. The process of combining cards, crafting items and fighting against game challenges is fair but sometimes brutal, tense but rewarding. Game will punish you for doing stupid things, but I feel like most dangers are avoidable as long as you think and plan enough. I fell in love with this game because of how approachable it was when I first played it. It offered both the brain-burning puzzle-like challenge as well as unexpected "aha, that's how you do it" moments and experiences. I still play it today because developers treat it as a product of love and keep pushing out new updates for free. Finally, I need my games to have plenty of meat and content. Once you realize how deep and complex the game is and what is hidden behind the somewhat naive and simple graphics style, you will understand why me and so many others enjoy it so much. The game also has unlocks in terms of new characters and perks, which can make the game easier or harder to fine-tune your own personal experience and preference. Stacks Space, another card combining game. Do you see a theme here? Cultissimeter is the first game where I got hooked on the idea of having a big 2D board with lots of cards on it, which you can combine to get many wonderful results. It was very tight though, and you could not do many things in parallel. The pace is somewhat slow, but I still did enjoy it a lot. Some years later, Sockpop released Stacklands, a game which used the same idea, but it was basically a village simulation with workers and many things you could do with the villagers in parallel. It added a lot to the idea. Finally, very recently, somebody took the same idea again and made Stacks Space. It took Stacklands and made it better by removing many annoying things that Stacklands had. Well, in my opinion anyway. It turned it into a space team game, improved on the way how cards move and interact, improved the combat system and made it more enjoyable experience overall. It also has an active modding community and much more content. I expect many more wonderful, even better games in this genre idea. It really works, I like it. Ratropolis. Ratropolis, the ancient metropolis, granted us safety and prosperity. Oh, this game is a mix between a deck builder, village builder, and a tower defense. It is also a mix of real-time and turn-based game. What is most important though, all these things together actually work. I really like it because it provides both a challenge but also some insane combos which you can eventually put together. Game is not afraid of giving you big guns if you show you're worthy by surviving long enough. It also has scalable difficulties, so if you feel like it is too easy, you will get to the point where, well, it is not. A full package, I keep coming back to it. For me, it is the best game of its kind. It is also a roguelite and I'm a sucker for unlocks and progressing outside the runs, but it is doable from the first run regardless, so that is a big plus. The Last Spell. Mix between a squad builder and economy-based village tower defense. You use your limited resources and build up your heroes the best way you can to fight off hordes of incoming undead, as well as some pretty unique bosses. I did not play this game a lot yet, but I'm very tempted to just, stop playing everything else and just spam out like 20 episodes of this. The combat reminds me of initial Xcom games, but much faster, more streamlined, and with another tactical layer of a village in the middle of the screen you have to defend. Also, the game lets you be powerful, but if you make a mistake, Undead will chew you up. Another fair but unforgiving game. I just love this formula so much. Same like Ratropolis, it is also roguelite, and well, I am a sucker for unlocks like I already said and progressing outside the runs. But my experience with the first run was that it is doable from the first run regardless, so that is a big plus. Tainted Grail Conquest, my new favorite roguelike deck builder. You navigate the world as you would in RPG and have big freedom over the order in which you choose the fights and how you build your deck. There is also a pretty robust story and plenty of unlockables to make you more powerful, as well as ways to increase the game difficulty to keep up with your own upgrades and keep things interesting. I found much success in this game, but I really tried hard to do so. Another fair but super challenging game which will punish you if you're not paying attention. Love it. Dead in Bermuda. It is a survival game where you manage a group of survivors, their relationships, skills, and stats to optimize well enough to survive and progress the story. This one is a bit older and this kind of surprised me how well it was. There is a sequel to it, that in Vinland, which I expect to be much better and less rough around the edges. But I did enjoy tinkering around with all the stat skills and trying to make the best out of a really unpleasant situation, and quite a few crisis moments I had to figure out how to dig myself out of it. Pretty cool, and once I'm done, I'm looking forward to playing the sequel. Circadian Dice. It is a dice rolling dungeon crawling RPG. You pick up a class, equip it with some items, and go into a dungeon to roll the dice and fight off waves of enemies in turn-based manner. It is a score attack at its core, giving you stars depending on your performance, which unlocks more items, classes, and dice options. So yeah, another roguelite, haha! I like it because of how rewarding it is to use all the mechanics you have available to grow really powerful towards the end of the run, but also how hard it is to balance strength and survivability versus economy and actual growth. There are some hard decisions I usually have to make, and I do enjoy that process a lot. Dice Tribe's Ambitions. It is a dice rolling village builder. Your villagers are represented by dice, and you have different entities which represent locations, buildings, and objectives which you put those dice in to get various effects and resources. It really works for me. RNG is a thing, but there are also tools how to manage it. As you learn the game, it gets easier, but there are also ways to increase the difficulty to keep the game interesting. For me, this is the best game of its kind. I dished out quite a few videos of it, and I will probably come back to it again because it really scratches that itch quite well. Library of Ruina. This game has an amazing combat system. You control a squad of characters which you equip with cards and bonuses which they use to fight, and you unlock this by progressing through a pretty intense story. The system is pretty deep and complex to master. The game throws a lot of unique challenges your way, and you need to build your team well in order to overcome them. In order to make the challenges less punishing, the game does allow you to unlock everything you need by repeating the old fights, but there is no experience and no currency, so there is only as powerful as you can get, so you'll have to use your knowledge and wit to progress or you will get stuck. I appreciate this kind of approach a lot, and I had lots of fun overcoming this type of challenge. StarSector. My favorite space trading, fighting, building sandbox game. You're in charge of a fleet of ships, you fly around, do missions, trade, fight, and progress the story. I like this game more than others of this kind because of depth of ship customization and how all of this interacts in actual fights, which are pausable tactical masterpieces which can have dozens of ships on both sides of the battlefield. It is also another product of love. It got many updates over the years and it is still being worked on, I think. I came back to this game multiple times, each time finding some new exciting features, and I was never disappointed. This game is so much more than I can describe in a couple of sentences. You really need to go and check it out. Beware of the learning curve though, and feel free to ask me any questions you like. I will help the best I can. Conquest. This game has the tightest deck building system based on gear I ever experienced. It features turn-based combat in which you face off multiple waves of enemies in a location. If you're successful, you're rewarded with another item which you can add to your kit immediately or use it in your future runs before you proceed to the next location. Items determine which abilities you have in your deck, and there are some amazing combinations you can cook up in order to counter very different and unique challenges the game throws your way. There are also unlockable prestige classes you can work towards. At the end of the run, there is a final boss waiting and everything is challenging but fair. You get the tools you need to succeed, but the game will punish mistakes harshly. It is a thinking kind of game. And I really did like that your first run can be successful, even though most items are still locked. This is something I do appreciate in roguelites. There is also a cap to how powerful you can get, because even though unlocked items will in theory make you a bit more powerful, there is a limit to how many you can bring, and sometimes a great combo between two simpler items will be better than having lots of items which are strong on paper but do not work well together. I did a lot of videos on this game and my whole experience was very enjoyable. GloomHaven, digital version of one of my favorite cooperative board games. It is a campaign dungeon crawler in which you control a party of characters which use cards in order to move around hex-based dungeons, attack and use various abilities to vanquish your foes. What makes it unique is how this deck of cards works and how they interact with each other. You always play two cards and use top part of one and bottom of another, and you always start with all the options available. There is no shuffling, but you do lose cards over time as a result of its fatigue system, so you do have to progress or you lose to exhaustion. There are campaign unlocks and your options of cards grow over time and get stronger. There are also equipments which have limited uses but are very influential. Each class has its own set of unique cards which are designed to work well together. I think so many hours into this, it is kind of insane. I like it because it's well designed and it has plenty of content. It plays a bit slow, and if you play the actual board game, there is a lot of components and admin needed. Luckily enough, the actual digital game takes care of the admin for you. To me, these are not the issue, but it is definitely something to consider. Check this out if you have time, but be warned, videos are long. Very long. So, that is it for this video. Hopefully you saw something interesting. I plan to make more videos like this in the future, and once I made them, I'll put links to them in the comments of this video as well. So, if this video was made a while ago, make sure to check that as well. There should be some goodies there. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Do something nice and be kind to each other. Let's make the world a better place together. Thank you all for watching and see you in the next video. The Neemer signing out. Bye bye.